of Scat. Hi everybody, the Art of Scat. What in the world? There's 3 definitions of scat. So are we going to be talking about how to shoo away a kitty? You know, fluffy, scat. Or are we going to take the other definition? Are we going to be talking about animal droppings? Bigfoot leave, big scat. Or is it possible that we're going to be talking about the wordless syllables that jazz singers use when they are seeking to approximate what a jazz soloist, instrumentalist might be doing when they take an improvisatory flight of fancy? Is it the piano that gave it away? Surely we're going to be talking about scat singing. Now, I've been in the arts and entertainment all of my life. 46 years I've been doing that. And in the early days, I was a singer and a piano player and a band leader. I had to do everything, because that was how you made a living. That was my livelihood, was to know all kinds of music. But I became known as a jazz singer and a blues singer. I'm from Kansas City. You can't get out of Kansas City without loving jazz. And for some reason, I ended up being known as a specialist in the field of scat singing. I did not have a mentor in scat singing because there was nobody to teach me. You only learned it by listening and experimenting. Today, you can go on the internet and Google it. So when I had to do this presentation, I had to research it, I discovered I didn't know anything about it. I'd been doing it for 46 years, but I didn't know a thing about it. So it was really good fun to experiment and see what it was all about. I had always heard that Louis Armstrong invented it. The story goes that he was in a recording session, recording a song, the music fell off the stand, and he started using nonsense syllables, thinking in his mind that they were going to scrap that particular version and release something else. But they released it, and in 1926, Heebie-Jeebies was the first time scat singing was known to the general public. However, if we go to the Library of Congress, we'll find Jelly Roll Morton, the old-time piano player, says, oh, no, no, no. It was actually a guy named Joe Sims, who was a comedian, that in 1906 actually did the first scat singing. So there's quite a bit of discussion, a lot of recordings before Louis Armstrong, but certainly Louis Armstrong was the first one to ever really make it known to the public. And he inspired people like Cab Calloway, who then took it to another level, and Cab Calloway inspired George Gershwin, who put it into Porgy and Bess. Now, when you think of scat singing, you may think of Ella Fitzgerald. She's probably the most well-known proponent of the art, and she rises it to a true art. And along with her, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, Mel Torme. More contemporary would be perhaps Al Jarreau, and then a person who takes it not just to another level, but to another planet would be Bobby McFerrin. So what is this thing that we call scat singing? It's really an improvisation using syllables that have nothing to do with any words. I'm just going to sing a song for you the way a jazz person would sing what's called the head. We start with the head. That means we're going to sing it normally. Tall and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking. When he passes, each one that he passes goes. Now, that's a jazz song, fairly well known, and to really scat sing, what you're going to do is make up a melody over the same chords. How do you listen to scat singing? I propose to you that you should be listening for that melody. See if you can sing girl from Ipanema, 1, 2, 3, 4, tall. Did you do okay? Did you hear it? You heard the melody a little bit in your head? So I'm going to take the chance and make another melody over it. When you scat sing, in fact, when any jazz performer takes a solo, you're creating a new melody on top of an existing chord progression. You might also change the chords, but they are essentially the same. So I'm going to sing a song, but instead of confusing it with syllables that you don't understand, I'm just going to say la 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 la, because that's what singers do a lot of the time. And tell me if you think I'll ask you the question later. La 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 la. Now, was that jazz? I propose that no, that wasn't jazz. That was more like a Miss America contestant trying to sing jazz. That's not really jazz, because it doesn't sound like jazz. When you're singing scat singing, what you're doing is you're trying to sound like a horn. You're trying to sound like a saxophone or a trumpet. If you're sounding like a trumpet, you use P's and B's and T's. If you're sounding like a saxophone, you might use zh. So I'm going to sing it again, and I'm going to sing it as a scat singer might sing it. Was that jazz?
Yes.
Yeah, that was jazz. All right. This isn't the first time nonsense syllables were used. The first record to make 1 million copies be sold was Cowboy Sweetheart by Patsy Montana. And she sang, I want to be a cowboy sweetheart, ought to learn to rope and ride. Now somewhere in the middle of that, she took a flight of fancy using syllables. So, there you have it. That's not jazz either. I call it cowboy scat singing. Now, I may go over, which would make me ineligible to be voted upon, but would you like to hear this song as a jazz singer would do it?
Yes.